Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. It is very cold out here, and we know very well that yesterday a lot of things happened, whereby some people lost their lives, some were injured. People ate tear gas too much, and when you're walking all over the street of Nairobi at from around maybe up to around 11 p.m. There was that you could smell the tear gas all around, and we thank God because today in the morning at least it rained, and the rain swept away all the tear gas that maybe could have caused a lot of damage and a lot of problems to the people that lives and those ones that are doing businesses within the town. I have got two top stories here to talk about. The first one, I want to discuss this issue of Ruto Must Go, #Ruto Must Go strategy. A statement. A lot of people are asking, a lot of people are saying that Ruto must go. And I want to talk about this thing in this way. I want to handle it. I want to discuss it in this way. The way I see it, Ruto can go. And the first way that Ruto must go is Constitution provides the impeachment of a president, whereby the parliamentarians, that is the Senate and the members of Parliament, can send Ruto home after is taken, is called to the Parliament, to the Senate, is vetted, and if he is found unworthy to rule the country or to govern the country, he is sent home. That is the first one. And the second one is William through the election, and in this scenario, we know very well that the elections are going to be held in 2027. So if people can wait up to 2027, it will now be up to them. They're the ones that now will choose whether William Ruto will remain in the office as the president, will maintain the office as the president and serve for the second term, or they will elect someone and boycott the election of William Ruto, and therefore William Ruto will be sent back to Sugoi or back home. So that is the second option. And the third option is this scenario whereby presidents just resign by themselves after meeting a lot of crises that they feel like they can't handle. Like for instance, in this scenario whereby the people are striking, are demonstrating every now and then, saying that Ruto must go, so it might reach a point whereby Ruto will say that, okay, this thing is too much for me to handle. And with this, we've seen this thing. I've seen this thing in Sri Lanka. It happened in Sri Lanka. It happened in Argentina, whereby the leaders resigned by themselves. So it can reach that point whereby Ruto will say that these people have been striking. They're saying that they don't want my governance. So let me just resign. And they can even run. He can even decide to run away from Kenya. Literally, he can just run because it's too much for him. He can't bear it. So those are the only ways that Ruto can leave the office. Number one, I've told you, is through the Constitution states very well that Ruto can be called to the Parliament, and after being called in the Parliament, he can be vetted by the members of Parliament and by the senators. So if he's found that if these two groups finds, most of the Senate, if the Senate finds that William Ruto is unworthy to rule the country, then he can be sent home. Another one that I've told you, which is very easy, is people to wait up to 2027. And then after coming 2027, people will not vote for William Ruto, but they will vote for another person. And after voting for the other person, William Ruto will be sent home. And the third one, which is the last, and I think this is one of the major things that now people are pressurizing on, is to Ruto to resign by himself. Whereby if a leader feels like the crisis is too much, he can't handle, he just resigns and runs away. He gets out of the office and says that I've resigned because this is too much. And I've told you the other day that for William Ruto to be safe, he can do it. He can do a very simple thing. He can just call the press, and just the way he fired the CSS, he can say that I've hereby decided to resign because I cannot handle this. This is too much for me to handle. I cannot handle it. So those are the ways. Those are the only ways that this hashtag Ruto Must Go can be met. The second story is about this issue of the governor of Nyeri County. Governor Kahiga is giving conditions. We know very well that the CSS are we are going to have new CSS, and under those new CSS, there are some of them that are going to come back to the offices, and there are some that are going to be sent home and not going to come back. This one will work. If at all, this one is a leaked. This one is a leaked list of the cabinets, the incoming cabinets. So the proposed ones, we have got the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, that is Musalia Mudavadi. And then we have from Vihiga, we have got Health and Medical Services. We have got Dr. Mercy Mwangangi. Climate Change and Tourism and Wildlife, we have got Soipan Tuya. Cooperatives and SME and Development, Susan Mudhaura. Roads, Transport and Public Works, we have got Engineer Frederick Kirui. National Treasury and Planning, we have got Weekly for Paranya from Kakamega. East African Communities and Regional Development, Grace Mercy Osewe. Interior CS and National Administration, Joseph Boynet. Cabinet, Gender, Culture and Affairs, we have got Affair Actions, we have got Mercy Kibaba. And then continuing, we have got Defense, Aden Duale. Education, Professor Olive Mugenda. Information Technology, Digital, we have got Dennis Itumbi. Water and Sanitization, we have got Alfred Mutua. Public Service Transformation, Joshua Oigara. Lands, Housing and Urban Development, we have got Charles Hinga. Youth Affairs and Sports, we have got Ababu Namomba will retain. Trade, Investment and Industries, we have got Adan Mohammed. Labor and Social Protection, we have got Salim Mvuria. Agriculture and Irrigation, we have got Kipruto Kirwa. And then Mining, Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, we have got Engineers Nicholas Gumbo. And then lastly, Energy and Petroleum, we have got Rebecca Miano from Nyedarwa. So looking at these, we have got some of the former CSS that were fired that are going to retain their positions. Somebody like Aden Duale is going to come back. Somebody like Ababu Namwamba is going to come back. Somebody like Alfred Mutua is going to come back, but is has been given another position. Somebody like I think there are around 3 to 4 of them are going to come back. But now you find that people like Murkomen cannot come back, will not come back, and people like Moses Kuria cannot also come back. So that is why. So for this reason, this guy is insisting that 8 of the CSS, and this is what he's saying. He's saying that maintain 8 CSS positions for Mount Kenya in your next cabinet. Governor Kahiga tells Ruto. So I have a question. Governor Kahiga is insisting that William Ruto should maintain 8 CSS, should bring back 8 CSS from Mount Kenya into the new positions. So I have a question. My first question is, in the last cabinet, the 9 CSS were coming from Mount Kenya. What did they do to the people of the mountain? Because this guy this one is a great ally of Rigathi Gachagua. We have to understand that Governor Kahiga is a very great ally and a mouthpiece of Rigathi Gachagua. And if at all you want to listen to what Rigathi Gachagua is saying, you must listen to what this Kahiga is saying, because some of the things that Rigathi Gachagua will not say, but Kahiga will say them on behalf of Rigathi Gachagua. So Kahiga insisting that William Ruto should bring back 8 CSs from Mount Kenya to take the positions that are empty right now in the country. It means that there's an agenda that Rigathi Gachagua is trying to push to the president. There is something that we also need to understand. Even if Kahiga is pushing, or Rigathi Gachagua, anyone that is pushing for the appointment of the 8 CSs that comes from Mount Kenya, there is going to be vetting. There is going to be vetting of qualification, and if at all they pass through the vetting of qualification, there is also this thing of integrity. If they pass that, then I think they will be allowed to be in the offices, because at the end of the day, what the Gen Zs are fighting for is the integrity and accountability. So if at all the 8 of them will be found that they are accountable, they have got integrity, they can serve in the offices at the CSS, then the Gen Zs will have no problem. But again, this is one of the major things that the Gen Zs are fighting. The Gen Zs are trying to fight against tribalism. And by this Kahiga pushing that 8 CSS should come from Mount Kenya, it's like he's also trying to bring back this issue of tribalism. And I asked in one of the videos that I played, I think if it's not yesterday, then it's on just the other day, that why is it that Rigathi Gachagua normally pushes for the unity of Mount Kenya? Why can't he go abroad? Why can't he go to Mombasa? Why can't he go to Busia? Why can't he go to Bungoma to talk about the unity of Kenya? Because at the end of the day, Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy. Is not the deputy of the people of the mountain, but rather is the deputy of the people of Kenya. Why can't he walk all over the country to talk about that unity that he speaks about in Mount Kenya? Why is he much concerned, and why are they much concerned about Mount Kenyans benefiting more than other counties benefiting from the government? Last thing that I think, and lastly, the reason as to why the last cabinet failed is this issue of conditions, that if you don't do for us this, we can't do for you this. And I think this is another reason. So this is another thing that if William Ruto will listen to, it will make him fail. Because, okay, let us take a look at this. At the end of the day, we have to understand that even if he will listen to it or not, automatically William Ruto will go home. So if these guys insist that let William Ruto, they will put conditions that if you don't give us 8 CSS, then we'll not stand with you coming 2027. Automatically, they will not stand with William Ruto. Why? Because it is not William Ruto that will re-elect himself in the office, but the people of Kenya are the ones that might re-elect William Ruto. But if the people of Kenya are the ones that are tired with William Ruto being in the office, then I don't see any reason as to why they should pressurize William Ruto to appoint 8 CSS that comes from the mountain. Because at the end of the day, even if they give William Ruto conditions right now, the people of Kenya, not only the people of the mountain, the people of Kenya are tired with William Ruto. So even if the people of the mountain have got votes that can bring Ruto back to the government, simply because they will feel like Ruto had them, I don't think it will be easy. Because what will the people of Busia say? What will the people of Mombasa say? What will the people of Rift Valley, the ones that are right now are tired with William Ruto, what will they say? Do you think they will re-elect William Ruto simply because he decided now to give the people of the mountain 8 CSS back, 8 CSS positions back? Do you think it will be easy? So these are the things that I think are making this government to fail. And these are the things that made the regime of the former cabinet to fail, because of the conditions that were being given to William Ruto. That for us to support you coming 2027, you have to do for us this. And this is one of the major things that is also making William Ruto to be seen as a bad person here, because he accepted to form an alliance with the Musalia Mudavadi, and that is why the office of the PS, he retained the position of the PS without us knowing what does that office does. Why? Because the PS, Musalia Mudavadi, was very wise and formed an alliance with William Ruto to form a Hallelujah alliance that will support William Ruto coming 2027. But surprisingly enough, I think William Ruto together with his Musalia Mudavadi are going home. I really don't know what to, that is just my thought. I really don't know what to think. You can drop me a comment in the comment section. And just a reminder, if you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can also tell me where you're watching us from and how these videos are reaching you. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Awena. Bye-bye.